All right, guys, we're back with exercise number 2 on our basic training day number 1. And it's the almighty air squat. Okay, so this is the foundation of squatting, back squatting, front squatting, overhead squatting, squat cleaning, squat snatching, anything with the word squat in it, you're gonna start right here, okay? So I've got a couple of tools here. First thing I've got is a medicine ball. Second thing I've got is a 45-pound plate, okay? So you're gonna find that these are basically the tools that I would use. Again, you can use benches, you can use chairs, you can use pillows, couches, anything that you would have available to practice your squat. It is something that we literally do every day, sitting in a chair or going to the bathroom, so on and so forth. So we want to make sure that we're doing this appropriately. So again, to start out, I'm going to use this as my target. And what we are going to do is I have a little saying that we have in our squat, and that is to keep our heels down. Make sure our knees are going out. Make sure that our core is tight, our chest is up, and our back is flat. Okay? So using those things, what I'm going to do is get set up here. I'm going to make sure that I am in a good position. Feel pretty comfortable, so I'm going to get with my feet shoulder width apart, keeping my chest up, keeping my core tight, and I'm going to squat to the bench, okay? Again, standing all the way up, and then squatting to the ball, rather. Simple and easy. Very simple. Notice when I come down, it's okay to relax at the bottom, okay? We don't have to just touch. I always tell people in the beginning, just if you need to, kind of compose yourself. What we don't want to do is we don't want to lift our heels up, and we don't want our feet to be moving or rocking or anything like that. Once we get our feet set, we want to keep our heels into the ground so we have that foundation for when we stand up and we're not worrying. We're protecting our knees, protecting our legs in the air squat. Okay? So you can see, to make this a little bit more difficult, I'm going to stand up. And we're just going to move the plate out of the way to squat to a little bit lower of a target. Again, I get my feet set, chest is up, butt is tight, push back from the hips, lower myself down, and then standing up, okay? Some common mistakes would be, the first thing is that our heels come up. Never do we want our heels to come up. The next common mistake is that our knees go in when we stand up. Okay, so what I mean by knees out is not knees out like this. You can see my feet are off the ground. We don't want that. My knees track in line with my toes. Okay, so if I had arrows on my knees and my toes, they'd both generally be pointing in the same direction. Okay, so some people can squat super narrow, pointing straight forward. Some people like to squat a little bit wider. I would say practice both. What we want to make sure is that in any position, our knees are not tending to go in. And it's a good cue to, once we get down, push the knees out just a little bit, and then we stand up. Okay, keeping the core tight. Okay? Another thing that people tend to do is they tend to really lean and round their back in that squat. So 2 things that we don't want to have happen. We don't want to have excessive lean forward, and we don't want to have a rounded back, okay? We want to keep our back straight. We want to lift from our glutes and our hamstrings, activating these big muscles back here in our legs to stand us up and lower us back down. Okay, again, notice chest is not tilting forward, back is not rounding, both very bad things that we want to avoid. And making sure, once again, that we keep our core nice and tight. One little thing that I like to remind people of, especially when we're doing heavier squats, when we put weight in our hands, weight on our back, is to take a deep breath at the top of the movement. When we're standing there, we have a weight in our hands on our back. We take a breath and we hold that breath until we start to come up out of the hole. Where I'm at right now is considered the hole, okay? So what we don't want to be is we don't want to be soft in the hole. We don't want to relax in the hole. Even though we are on the medicine ball, we are down, we are not soft. Everything is nice and tight. So again, I'm going to stand up, Take a deep breath, keeping it nice and tight here, and then pushing it out as I stand up. And if I need to, if I'm ready, I can take that medicine ball away, and you can see the same rules apply. My butt is down, my heels are down, my knees are tracking in line with my toes and out, not in. My chest is up, my core is nice and tight. Even while we're down here talking, I'm not here. I'm nice and tight. And when I'm ready to drive up, pushing that air out as I come up. That is your basic air squat and number 2 on the list for your basic training day number 1.